Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. Okay, so here's the thing that's going to be interesting over the course of the next couple of weeks, about the next 2 weeks. In fact, you're going to see a lot probably happening this week. We already know about the Eagles, who were $52 million over the salary cap, trying to trade Carson Wentz. And it doesn't look like he wants to go to the Bears. He's literally dictating where he wants to go and so on. I don't understand how come he has so much power, but hey, if you got it, use it. He'll probably end up going to the Colts for maybe 2 number ones and maybe another pick, a late round pick, no first rounds involved, to see if he can rejuvenate his career. We know the Eagles, again, because they're so far over the cap, are trying to move Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz, who just a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, had the NFL record of 118 receptions. Now, when it comes to free agency, I caution people to be careful, because in your mind, you hear a name and all of a sudden you think of the great plays. When you're not a Dallas Cowboy player, let's be clear here. You don't see the breakdown of them in nauseam. You've seen just about every play that Dak Prescott has ever had. Conversely, other players out there, you see the highlights. And in your mind, you just keep replaying those highlights. So now it's looking like Denver, cost-saving move, may not do that fifth-year option on Von Miller, in which case he'll be an unrestricted free agent. And immediately, I know some Cowboy fans will say, sign Von Miller. But I say pump the brakes just a little bit here, because we got to dig a little bit deeper, because is Von Miller the guy that was part of that Super Bowl team, that Super Bowl defense that literally beat the hell out of Cam Newton with DeMarcus Ware? Let's just look at the numbers here real quick. So first thing you got to understand is his cap number is $22 million this year, okay? His base salary is $17.5 million. So if the Denver, I got Eagles on my brain. If Denver ends up releasing him before the beginning of the league year, they save that $17.5 million. Just letting him go. They'll end up taking $4 million in dead money, but $4 million versus $22 million on your cap, that's a big savings. So you're thinking in your mind, oh my God, Von Miller, absolute positive beast. And he may return from that. But let's go back to 2019, because that's the last year he played 15 games, okay? 8 sacks. Don't get me wrong, 8 sacks is really good. But it's not as good as what he used to have. Between 2014 and 2018, 14, 11, 13 and a half, 10, 14 and a half. And his combined numbers for tackles, that's the second lowest he has ever had. He only had 1 year where he only played 9 games and had 34 tackles. He played 15 and only had 46. So he was having a down year in 2019. Then you add into it, he had the dislocation of the patellar, I probably mispronounced it, tendon in his foot, which was requiring surgery. Now, the typical recovery on that kind of an injury is 4 to 6 months. I'm sure that he's, finally healed on that one. But then there's also some allegations of other things off the field. So am I saying that we should go in and take a flyer on Von Miller? I would say proceed with caution. If the Cowboys were thinking about looking at him, the bigger question will be is, with Von Miller coming off of such a high salary, I'm sure he's not looking to get chump change. And at this point, he's probably looking, towards the end of his career, looking for that opportunity to get himself a ring. So it has to be a two-way street as far as free agency. So I'm not saying go after Von Miller. That's just not me. I know the Raiders and the 49ers, everybody's hype, oh, go get Von Miller. But I'm just looking at the baggage that's coming with Von Miller, as well as the age and possibly the price tag. Now, one other way to look at price tag, I still believe I'm not a capologist. I don't work for the NFL. I'm not, a general manager or capologist or anything like that. But knowing that so many teams are going to have to jettison players that are going to be named players, without those teams having money to spend in free agency like we've done before, I believe that a lot of these big salary cap numbers that you usually see for upper level free agents aren't going to be there. In fact, I think we're going to see a slow first week of free agency. I think that this is going to be a buyer's market where you'll be able to get guys for less. Now, the final piece I'll put on here is this. I think the NFL and the NFLPA recognize that this lower salary cap, it won't be 175. It may be as low as 180. It may be as high as 185. That the cap may artificially be raised with future earnings. The NFL knows they're going to be making big bucks from gambling and the new television contract and things like that. They may not want to see so many players on the street, and the NFLPA will not want to see somebody like a Von Miller, who's, coming off of, a $22 million cap hit, $17 million base salary, going down to $3 or $4 million. And the NFL is going to want to make sure that they can keep teams stocked with good talent. They don't want to see bare bone products on the field, contrary to popular belief. So hold on to your hats, because immediately we'll be hearing teams that should be going for this guy and going for that guy and so on will keep up with them, because I know people are going to be saying, we should go get Von Miller. Well, I think that's, for me, probably a no. But then again, what do I know? I'm just a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll down here in my man cave talking about football. So that's where we are with that. I'm curious to see, as everything has kind of slowed down with Carson Wentz in that situation, I think it's really just a matter of time. And I think that it's going to end up being that he's going to go to the Colts. What will be interesting will be, what do the Eagles do? So instead of the number 6 pick in the draft, it's a lot higher than they were when they drafted Carson Wentz. Will they take a flyer on another quarterback, as Jalen Hurts seems to be getting the love from the players on the field and so on? The Eagles, I'm actually amazed at how many quarterbacks they have gone through over the course of the last 11 seasons. It's almost Washington-esque. So, yeah, this is one of those cases where we, as Cowboy fans, need to look at the situation that we have at quarterback. And as a team like Denver is debating trying to find a quarterback after drafting quarterback after quarterback, we've actually had it pretty good. All right, I will see you guys later. I got to go up here and cook me some jerk chicken on the grill. Jerk chicken wings. Jerk chicken wings. We're going to have some nice kale with bacon. Bacon! So I got some work to do. I'll see you guys later.